we do live stream. Not that we get like 20 million people watching, but we try to get it out there as best we can anyways.
Rumble and YouTube.
There you go. Thank you, Stephen.
You got it.
All right, we are live streaming now, I think. Yep. And let me, Danielle, do you want to start us in a prayer and then I can introduce it and I'll watch the
Sure.
waiting room.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm a co-founder, co-director of Project Civica. And thank you so much, Jeff, for joining us. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. I ask you, Lord, we we are so grateful that we're all here together. We can gather in your name. I thank you for this beautiful country and this beautiful state that you've given us. Help us to be good stewards. Give us the wisdom that we need to move forward with truth and liberty that you have given to us. I pray that we would respond well and we would trust in you with the results. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right. Thank you, Danielle. All
Thank you.
right. So welcome everybody to our summertime series of statewide team meetings. We have two guests tonight. So, well, I don't know. Roy is a volunteer, but he's definitely a guest speaker tonight. And we have Jeff Schaefer from EIN and I think Michigan, if I remember correctly,
That's correct.
to speak. So, but I welcome everybody to Project Civica. And if you haven't been on our meeting before, we appreciate your being here immensely. We are a New York State-based civic action organization, and basically we encourage people to get involved civically in the oversight of their government. And that's everything election process related, from get out the vote efforts to election integrity to helping to recruit leaders in both precincts, election districts, or to run. So we run the gamut politically, and we are nonpartisan, but we then definitely tend to be constitutionalists, I will say. So that is our bent. So if you're here for the first time, we welcome you, and happy to answer any questions you have towards the end of the meeting about the organization, or you can go to our website, projectcivica.org. So we are going to lead off with Jeff. He is a leader with the Election Integrity Network and a longtime advocate for election transparency. He is going to be discussing a time-sensitive proposed rule issued by the Office of Management and Budget, the federal office, that could affect how federal grant funds may be used for voter registration activities. There's a short time frame on this for public comment. The public comment period closes on July 13th. And we are definitely looking for people to email in and take action to make comment on this issue. So Jeff, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you can explain what's been proposed and who actually has been commenting and why it's so important that citizens who want transparent elections comment.
Yes, well, thank you all very, very much. It's a pleasure to be speaking with all of you. And what I'm going to talk about is a proposed rule that the Office of Management and Budget has set out. And basically on May 29th, OMB put into comment period a comprehensive revision of the rules for federal grants. It covers all the departments of the federal government, and it eliminates a lot of what I would call loose or unclear guidelines, and it tightens the requirements so the grants are used in a manner that was statutorily defined by Congress and not what an administration like the prior one did politically desired. Now, this comment period runs until July 13th, 2026. So we have until till Monday. And very, very quickly, where to go? Here it is. Okay. So this is the Federal Register where things were put out for comment. And as you can see, it's all the departments Russ Voigt of Office of Budget Management, he also put a management and budget, also put together Project 2025. And what he's doing is getting control, the executive control of the federal spending. So goes down, gives a summary, and then later on it talks about the various topics. So what we care about most is 2 CFR 200-450. This is the anti-lobbying or the Byrd rule. And basically what they're doing is they're revising this section of the regulations to put in a new rule which says this: establishing, administering, contributing to, or paying the expenses of a voter registration campaign, voter registration drive, or any similar activity, or to me, paying the expenses of another entity engaged in such activity is going to be prohibited. This is so important to us because what it does is it levels the playing field. Now, I tell you, this regulation, like I said, was very thorough and comprehensive. Darn. Okay. This goes page 1046 of the of this regulation, of this rule change. And this probably got about 3,000 pages total. It was a lot of fun reading through all this. We support this change and we want it implemented. It's in line with EIN, CBOR, Citizens Election Bill of Rights initiatives. Eliminate registrations at any agency, then election offices and the driver of motor vehicles. No registrations added to the voter rolls until confirmation of identity, residency, and U.S. citizens, and states must confirm missing ID for residency and citizenship or remove them for the rolls. So it says we don't want these voter drives to be adding directly to the rolls as is current practice. Now, Nonprofit Vote was the one that alerted me to this. Social justice NGOs are opposed to this change and are alerting their members to write comments to oppose this change. And you see this language right here. And what they're saying here is, hey, the existing rules are fine as they are. And they would do a couple other things here. And so they're getting their people to write comments. Now, when I presented, I said, hey, the submission, the comments got to vary a little bit because the federal government reviews it and they lump identical comments as one. Well, I've checked some of these comments and I'll demonstrate a little bit later. Shows that identical comments can be posted. That means a boilerplate comment can be posted. And I've got a suggested sample comment. This is what I have submitted right here. First off, you got to put your name. We support this rule with this CFR being implemented. It's been a history of grantees misusing funds. When registering particular groups or demographic, NGOs are still able to conduct voter registration drives using other funds. And a competent, well-run NGO will be able to handle compliance and reportings as required by law. Right now, they should be able to do it. And as stated in the executive summary, funds should go to the intended recipients and not to overhead based in Washington, D.C. That's in the rules. So this is a boilerplate comment that people can put in. Just got to put your name or your organization. Now, there are some other comments that can be possibly thrown in there that I've generated. History of grantees misusing funds. I had that. NGOs are still able. U.S. anti-Byrd prohibits using funds to conduct activities not neutral toward the federal government. Federal taxpayers shouldn't be forced to fund registrations. Doing a simple, comprehensive change allows consistency. And you can add your own comments and add a file in too. After this presentation, after this meeting, I'm going to put this presentation in. You can copy it, and I'll also put in the chat these comments so that you can just pull them out, set them in any way you want. It's all there, ready to go. So where are we? As of, okay, this is an old comment. I think, yeah. Okay, to date, 98,000 comments have been submitted, 50,500 have been posted. The vast majority of 99, I'm going to say 99.5% are opposed to the rule change. And the bulk are focused on what I call science grant restrictions. The climate change lobby infrastructure sees this as a death knell to their organization. And so they're opposing it. Now, when I search for voter registrations, I get around 397 responses. Not all of them deal with 200-400, but here's the thing. I would say out about, let's say 350, only 3, including me, support this change. That's like 0.008%. No, that ain't going to cut it. We need to get this thing supported. So what do we got to do? We got to get these comments in now. We don't want to lose it. Percent of 0.08 is not going to help. Only 4 days left. Goal. We need to get as many comments as submitted. Now, I've given to various groups of EIN. I presented to Texas, now to you, New York. Submitted to Cleta's group. I'll be doing it again tomorrow. Michigan Fair Elections and a couple of local groups here. If we can get 5 to 20 comments in each organization, that will be more than enough that is needed. And again, I'm willing to help here. Let's not lose this opportunity to level the playing field and to make one of Cleta Mitchell's antagonists, Dave Becker, very, very upset. It's good change. Lump sum grants are now banned. There's performance reviews. Fundings can be pulled if they find that you're misusing funds. The anti-lobbying effort really helps us, and we just need to get it done. Submit your comments. So very quickly, timeline right now, July 13th, public comments are due. Then they're going to go through and they're going to read the comments, this, that, and they anticipate that the OMB will publish a final rule, giving the agency less than 2 months to review and respond to public comments. Then the rule goes into effect October 1st. Now, one thing I want to point out, you know how all these executive orders have been enjoined by judges?
Yep.
This is a rule change. Russ Voigt understands how the federal government works. And a lot of the injunctions that have been going against these executive actions is because it doesn't follow the Administrative Processes Act, APA for short. We're following the APA process. And hence, because it does that, it's very hard to have judges issue restraining orders against an APA rule that has been published and finalized. And because it's gone through the process, they lose that leverage. Technically, they're not subject to judicial review. So this is a very good way of doing something. Again, it takes a little bit of time, but you clear the field, if you will. And here are some links to some government sites, what they are. And like I said, on the radar, I do this. The left gives taxpayer monies to the NGOs. The NGOs have a lot of cash. They organize ballot harvesting. Ballot harvesting then goes and favors the left, and the cycle repeats. And again, the threat to the social justice NGOs is this. It cuts out the middleman with the skimming of funds for quote-unquote expenses. No federal funds, no ability to spread favors. If you ever seen some of those old-time masterpiece theaters and like Poldark and Downton Castle, you know how the aristocracy is able to dispense favors? Okay. The left, the progressives, for decades have been using, this comes from a guy, Coffee and COVID, operated as a toll road between donor and recipient. Corporate America wanted, cover, and they didn't want to give to poor communities directly. They gave to the gatekeepers of poor communities. Hence, they're able to skim the funds and use it for what we want. That's virtue signaling. So with that, I want to just show you very quickly. I did a download of all the comments. All 50,000 have been submitted and put in the register. And I just did voter registration. And as you can see here, these proposed changes, they're all boilerplate.
They all look the same.
They all look the same. But unfortunately,
There's you.
there's only, Salt and Light, this and this, only 3 favorable comments out of all of these. So that's why we're sounding the alarm. So with that, is there questions, comments, concerns?
If you would just review how they submitted, so they go to the website and email.
Yes, thank you very much.
Just
Great
review it
minds
'cause
think alike.
a couple people jumped on while you were talking, and
Okay.
we talked about it in the beginning, but it's always good to repeat.
Yes. So, so the way you submit a comment, there's 2 ways. One, in the federal regulations, you'll see submit a public comment. Come on. All right. And this will open up, and as you can see, it goes to a different website actually called
You're not sharing anymore?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You undid that, yeah.
Yes, I did, didn't I? There's 2 ways of going about it. Okay, you can submit a public comment. Click on that. Well, actually, it takes you right there. So this is the comment field. And right here, you click in this box. It says start typing comments here. Type in your comments. If you've got any files or like articles or links you want to publish, you can put them here. You put in your email address. You can say, hey, I can opt in to receive notifications. I do that. Now you can submit as an individual. Click here, and what will happen, your name will show up. You can submit as an organization, or you can totally stay anonymous. Anonymous is acceptable. You click here saying, hey, I'm not a robot, and hit submit comment. Again, if we go back.
So what I'm actually thinking is if we put that link in there, people could literally do it while we're right here on the call. They could copy paste, couldn't they?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Zoom will allow. Let me go back to this. Zoom will allow us to copy and paste. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it into the chat, this link.
Okay.
I'm going to put this boilerplate in, and then I can put the additional comments right below that. Does that sound good?
That sounds perfect. Yeah. And then everybody, while you're on this call, just submit something real quick and we'll have hopefully, I don't know, what we got 15 people on this call. We could get 15 comments, right? Well, 14 because Jeff already submitted.
Yes.
We get 14 comments in there. Yeah. If you have access to AI, you could take that paragraph and just ask AI to generate a slightly different worded version of it too. So if you have access to whatever AI you use, Claude or Chat, or, so you could vary it a little bit and not change the meaning. You could copy the whole thing and just stick it in AI and ask for another paragraph and then copy that back into the comments. So yeah, we would like, just from my own experience in this space, right, in New York, you've got a lot of left-leaning organizations that run major voter registration drives. I was literally in the Erie County Board of Elections at one point in time, and some woman came in and dropped a pile. I don't, you can't even see my hands. A pile of new voter registrations that she had obtained from a local university. And not that we don't want people to vote, but when that happens, you have no idea. Like, are they grabbing everybody's voter registration? If you checked Republican, conservative, did they submit that too? I mean, there's a lot of questions. So it's definitely a left driven thing. So we'll let Jeff, I'm sorry, we'll let Jeff do his thing. And if everybody can pull that up, copy paste. And if you don't want your name on there, do it anonymously. Nothing wrong with that.
So they're in
Okay.
there.
Okay, wonderful. Are there any other questions? There was a question in the chat. Hold on, let me look. I did see somebody ask something.
It was me.
Oh, what were you asking?
I was asking, there were so many comments against the change. Could they be AI generated? Because it was just an enormous amount, or are people paid to make all those comments? It's just,
Well, they all look the same too.
They
Yeah.
are the same. And it's basically the same as that nonprofit vote. So these are boilerplates, and then what they're doing is the same thing that I'm doing here, or we're doing here. We're taking a sample comment and just dropping it in. So that's what's happening there. It's not AI generated, but that's a great, observation for a potential thing. But no, it's not AI generated. And another thing, when you go to comment, no, I gotta stop share on that and do it this way.
Why can't I copy this? I highlighted and copied it in chat, but I'm
I
not being able to copy.
you have to use Command C or something C. I don't know what it is on a PC. I have a Mac.
Control C.
Control C. Yeah,
Control
just
C.
highlight it and do Control C.
And then you
Highlighted,
can do a Control
C,
V.
and then a Control B,
Right, to
V,
drop it.
V as in Victor.
V.
I would put it on a Word document and then just make a small modification and then paste it in the comment.
Yeah, well, I'm not being able to copy it. Control C. I got it highlighted. Control C.
Well, we're going to fix that problem for you immediately. What we're going to do
One
is we're
new.
gonna drop the
Oh, wait,
comment in.
maybe that's it. No, that's a new comment.
I don't know, it worked for me. I copied
it?
it out of the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm in. I'm in chat. I highlighted that first one, name organization. I highlight it. I'm right clicking and nothing happens on right click. So I go Control C and then Control V.
Are you doing it in the federal regulation comment or on a Word document?
No, I'm trying to copy it off of the chat.
No, but when you paste it, excuse me.
Well, I can't paste it because I'm not even copying it unless it is copied somewhere. But let me
Okay,
see.
go to a Word document and did we
Yeah,
say
let me try
control?
that. What a Word document.
If you press down, I press down and I can push copy, so it's working.
Oh, we know me with technology.
Yeah,
Paste.
I'm on my phone, and I don't think I have that capability of cutting and pasting.
Yeah, no, it's well, yeah, you will. So
We'll
then
put it
just
in signal chats too
yeah,
as well.
exactly. Yeah,
Or maybe
Oh, yeah.
Danielle or one of
I'm
us
putting
do,
it in right now on the Signal chat.
Perfect.
okay,
and ask
good.
people to yeah,
I need the link first. Where's the link?
up higher.
Okay, I'll get it.
I was trying to change the wording a little bit in Chat GPT, but of course Chat logged me out. It hardly ever logs me out, but it did this time. Oh well.
Yeah, I'm not
I'll use
able to attach any files either.
What was that?
I'm not able to attach a file. I was going to just put the presentation in.
Okay, but if you want to email it to me, or is it the same one that you did
Yes.
I think it's in the EIN. Yeah, so if I can share it from there, or you can direct message me or something like that on Signal, that's fine. And then we'll get it in our we have a bunch of people in our Signal chat who usually will do it. So
Okay, good.
if you can't copy it, put your email in the chat and I'll email it to you. Okay? I see Lynn in there not having trouble. So it may have something to do with permissions. I don't know.
Are you doing it, Stephen? Are you putting it in there?
I put the link. I
Okay,
Yeah,
can't,
but not the comments.
I can't get the comments. I put the link.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll get the link. I'll get the comments. Okay.
Okay, I think that's
We got it.
is that
Thank you.
that's pretty much it. Okay, well, we will do our oh, she got it finally to a Word document. Wonderful. So we've got a few latecomers coming in. I will after Roy is done, we'll oh boy, a bunch of people just joined. I'll mention it again, Jeff, and we'll get them to do it at the end. Because we'll have to
Yeah, what I can do is I can just,
we have to repost it in the chat because anybody just coming late won't be able to see it. I know it's kind of annoying. It's like Signal, right? Yeah. Anyways, all right. Well, thank you so much. We will make sure we get as many comments out there, and it is easy to do. And with the boilerplate, language, you can easily, change like a couple of words in the first sentence if you want, and then submit it so we can get some more comments. Thank you very much. Appreciate your work on this and how you've been diligently trying to get us to do it. I want to say that I think a lot of those boilerplate comments that you see, I first saw this issue in the email from, I want to say it was the women, the League of Women Voters, actually, possibly. So, and they did this, they basically had an email and asked people who were on their email list to make a comment on it. So that may be where some of that language is, people just copying, pasting. So anyway, so we will bring it up again at the ends for anybody who came late. We'll kind of walk you through it again. But in the meantime, I want to introduce our second guest tonight, who is a volunteer with Project Civica. He is a citizen advocate from Suffolk County who has taken the unusual step of filing a pro se, which means he's doing it himself. He doesn't have an attorney, lawsuit challenging the county's purchase, a $31 million purchase of the ExpressVote XL voting machines. Suffolk County just purchased them, I think, last summer. And so Roy has been part of a team down there that have been opposing the voting machines for several years. And he will walk you through the allegations presented in his case, including the legal issues surrounding the procurement process and the claims he's raising under New York state law. He'll explain why he believes this case is important for government transparency, public accountability, and the public's confidence in election administration. So whether you're familiar with the lawsuit or hearing about it for the first time, this presentation will provide you with an opportunity to better understand the legal questions before the court and why this case has drawn attentions from citizens all across New York. So welcome, Roy. And we really appreciate your being here to talk about this tonight.
So that's what I'm doing tonight, huh? I didn't know that.
You can blame Danielle. She wrote it.
Surprise. Okay. Yes, I filed a lawsuit and Article 78 pro se. And obviously I had Project Civica's backing and the people in Project Civica. I had a lot of help. Attorney was Chris Bell. He was working on the project with me, and Anne Marie Reeb. And I basically took care of the a statement of facts, and they covered the legal aspects of it, of the lawsuit. But the first thing I'd like to do is to bring up the actual machine itself that we're talking about, so we can take a look at it. It's the ExpressVote XL. So I'm going to ask to share. I have the ability
Yeah,
to do
you
that.
should be able to. Do you have the button down there?
I do. And
Just
of
click on
course,
that.
what's showing up here? Some other. Are you seeing anything on there?
I
No.
see Zoom.
Okay, that's no good. Okay, so let's go to boom. And I had this all wired so it'd work properly. And of course, it's messing up a little bit.
Would it matter if he's co-host, Kim?
I don't think so. He's just got to find the right screen.
Oh, okay.
I had it lined up, so here it comes. Okay, and we'll get to presentation. Good. Okay, so You should be able to see this now, right?
Yep.
Good. So that's the ExpressVote XL. That's the culprit. And it's an all-in-one machine. It's touch screen. And you see here's the touch screen in the front. And there's a summary card over here. So after you put your information in, it'll pop up on this touch screen. If it looks right, if the information on the touch screen on the summary card looks correct and matches your touch screen, you tell it to cast a vote for you. The problem with this is once you cast a vote, this ballot, the touch screen itself is gone. So all you have left is this summary card, which is like a cash register receipt. And it also has a barcode on it. And that barcode is what's actually read. So you can't tell for sure that what's being fed into the machine is your vote. So that's one of the problems we have with the machine. But the lawsuit's really not about the machine and its pros and cons. Okay, but you can see here the paper ballots disappear. There's the machines are twice as expensive as other forms of voting. The optical scanners, for example. Also longer wait lines. You have to wait. You have to wait for the person in front of you to finish voting before you can step up to the machine and vote. So that's a problem. And also suppresses the vote. A lot of the elderly people, older people don't really know how to use these machines and they're intimidated by them. And also you need more machines. You need 3 times the number of machines compared to the optical scanners. So not only are they twice as expensive, but you need 3 times as many.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so there's your machine. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with. Okay, so let me see if I can get
Historical
back.
EFC.
Roy, I'm sorry.
Stevie, you might want
Roy, could I ask one quick question,
Yeah,
please,
go
that I
ahead.
always forget about? Is that receipt, that grocery store receipt, is that what they're considering auditable?
Yeah,
Like the
that's what they're
paper
going to
ballot?
have to. They're going to have to count those, and we have not had a chance to actually see the audits occur. So we don't know how they're going to do this auditing on the machines. I tried to get in this year, and they wouldn't let me in. There was
Right.
some technicalities. They wouldn't let me go and see the post election audit. So so I haven't really seen how they count them. We are going to be foiling all the results of the pre-testing of the machines and the audits of the machines. So I'm working with somebody on that. We're going to foil all the information and see what they've actually done with these machines, how they actually audited them. So that's our next goal. So, all right. So all right, next, so what I did was put together a video, all right? And the video shows some of the interactions we've had with the legislators, Suffolk County legislators and the Board of Elections over these machines, okay? And this particular video is the March 4th, 2025 meeting where they actually appropriated the money for the machines. So there's 2 resolutions before the legislature in this meeting. It's Resolution 1025 and 1025A. One actually authorizes the procurement of bonds, 30-year bonds in the amount of $34 million. And the other one appropriates the money. So it's all done in the same stroke of a pen. So see anything else about that? Yeah, that should cover it. So I'd like to play this video. It's 9 minutes long, and it's got a bunch of characters in it. Some Project Civica people are in it, legislators are in it, and we have some other organizations in. So if you just bear with me, this is a premiere you're seeing, and when I did the video, I made sure I starred in it because actually I tried to get out of it, but I got stuck in it. So let's see if she works.
Share screen. Did you check the box about sharing a video?
Yes. So let's see if we get some sound on this, right? If you don't get any
Yeah.
sound, let me know right away.
We do.
Okay, my name is Roy Reynolds. I'm here about voting machines. We went before the Ways and Means Committee last week, and gave a pitch to them. We're talking about Resolution 1026, which authorizes $32 million for the purchase of 2,750 ExpressVote XL voting machines. I'm a founding member of Project Civica. Project Civica is a not-for-profit organization which promotes civic action and government oversight, kind of like the legislature. $32 million is a lot of taxpayer money to pay for voting machines. For half that price, $16 million, we can get a better voting system. So why are we spending more money than we have to? Last year, we were promised a transparent selection process for choosing voting machines. We were promised a competitive bidding process to make sure we got the best system for the best price. We got neither.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Lulu Freistad. I'm the co-founder and executive director of Smart Elections. We're a nonpartisan nonprofit. We focus on election reform, especially on security, technology, and accessibility. And I have been studying election technology since 2007, when, as a documentary filmmaker, I filmed the first known hack of a US voting machine by graduate students at Princeton. We emailed each one of you asking for a no vote on Resolution 1026. We emailed you 9 separate reasons to turn down this proposal. And those reasons include, as Roy Reynolds said, it's twice the cost of a voting system that experts say is far superior. It's performed very poorly in the field, actually miscounting 3 separate elections in 2 separate states. It has contributed to lines 6 hours long. And the worst thing is that there is actually no way for the voter to verify how they voted.
Good morning. I'm here today once again to object to the $34 million purchase Suffolk County is about to approve with taxpayer dollars. Today, you, the Suffolk County legislators, are about to approve the purchase of new ES&S voting machines. Several of us have appeared before you over the past year to express valid and irrefutable concerns, but it appears that our objections have fallen on deaf ears. And I'll throw another log on the fire. Based on information I've received, these machines have been banned at the federal level.
Good morning, that's Steve Gillen.
Oh, your penmanship probably.
Probably, it's my penmanship. Yeah, I'm just here just quickly to comment on the machines. I won't go over everything that Sue and Roy went over, but there's one practical aspect to this that I think everybody has to think about. We look at these machines and just think of it logically. We go in, we get our ballot, we go into the booth, we could spend 10, 15 minutes sitting there reading it over, making sure we're making the right decision, especially on propositions and things of that nature. Then we go over and we put it into the scanner, and then that registers our vote. Just picture everybody standing in front of a machine, spending that 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, even if you're quick, 5 minutes hitting the buttons like an ATM machine. The lines that creates, which has been identified by Roy and has happened all over the country that are using machines, will increase the time and the wait time for anybody that wants to vote. What does that do? People stand in line when they're in there for an hour, they're like, forget this, I'm leaving. I'm not gonna wait another hour. So when you're making this consideration for these machines, please keep that in mind. There's other options out there similar to the process we have now. There's the hand counting option, but that's another option also. But these machines have specifically been proven to slow the time and increase the time that people have to stand online to vote. So I would just ask you to consider that when you're thinking of a $34 million purchase that is really going to discourage voters from coming out and voting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And our last speaker is Susan Greenhall.
Good morning, presiding officer and members of the legislature. I am the senior advisor for election security at the national nonpartisan nonprofit organization Free Speech for People, and I am a Suffolk County resident. We oppose, as you probably know, the Board of Elections procurement of the ExpressVote XL touchscreen voting machines, and we are urging you to table the resolution today, 1026, to appropriate $34 million. You may have heard from the Board of Elections that this is the only machine that they can buy because of the consolidated election year rule. This is untrue. We can continue to use paper ballots and scanners like we're using right now.
1026, bond resolution, appropriated funds in connection with the purchase of voting machines. Motion by legislator Donnelly. Second by legislator Caracappa. Anybody on that motion?
On the motion.
On the motion, legislator Caracappa.
I would just like to say we had many speakers come in today to speak about it, but I also want to put on the record that we had Board of Elections come in, both sides, Republican and Democrat, and they gave an outstanding presentation on these machines. I am confident and fully satisfied that they are in the business. They know what they're talking about.
Anybody else? Legislator Richburg.
Just that this, and the presiding officer and I had some conversations that this is going to approve the funding for any purchase of machines, not necessarily a specific purchase. So I think the most important thing is that we're moving forward with the ability to purchase machines going forward. And I believe that there still will be some review on all the different applications. I know there is a test run of a set of machines coming up, but that does not mean that we are quote unquote married to that machine. That just means that we're moving forward in a direction.
I'd like to add, legislator Engelbright.
I'm not going to be supporting this resolution. We've heard testimony today questioning the process that has brought the resolution to us. But also part of what we've heard is that there are alternatives. This is $34 million that we could do better than $34 million to buy what is likely to be outdated technology. So I'm not going to be supporting this resolution.
Thank you. Anybody else? Legislator Donnelly.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I made the motion to approve. I think it's important that we have a governmental agency we have to essentially put some faith in. We have Board of Election Commissioners, as Legislator Thorne alluded to, of the highest integrity on both sides of the aisle. This is a bipartisan thing, which is trying to move technology forward in Suffolk County. So I stand by my motion to approve. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. I just want to add that we had a lot of good input, and we've gotten that even before today's meeting from people about their concerns about the selection of these particular voting machines. I want to assure everybody that this resolution does not tie us to any particular machine. It just appropriates the money. I've been in contact with the Commission of the Board of Elections, expressed the concerns that we had in terms of the expenditure and looking at what all the other options are out there. And she assured me that they are not going to be making any rash decisions. And council has assured me that we're not voting on a particular machine here right now. So I think there's going to be some due diligence done before any selection of any machines is done. This simply appropriates the money. So in the event that we need to buy those machines. So, okay, which we need to do. Okay, with that, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Legislator Donnelly. Yes. Legislator Caracappa.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Welker.
Abstain.
Mazzarella.
Yes.
Engelbright. No. Lennon.
I think is that the end of the video, Roy?
That's it. I'm just going to stop
Yeah,
it there.
good job with that. He did that on his own, all those clips. I just want to point out that the people that he highlighted who spoke, that's a nonpartisan group. We've got some folks on the right and some folks on the left all opposing the same thing. So.
Yeah. So that's it. And they did not do their due diligence as they said they would. Let me just see. Okay, so they bought the machines on August 15th, 2025. And they signed the sales order agreement. It was signed by a rep from ES&S and the two commissioners from the Board of Elections. And the problem...
Before you get going, Jeff, did you have a comment on the video? Jeff Schaefer? Sorry, before you get going, Roy. So.
Yeah, these machines are not VVSG 2.0 compliant. VVGSG 2.0 requires a paper ballot, and this thing is what's being used in Georgia. And this is just a total waste of money, let me tell you.
Yeah, it is. But I want to point out that New York's laws actually don't require that kind of compliance for them to. New York has they do their own what do you call it, audit, yeah, not auditing, what's the word I'm looking for, certifications and everything else, so they're not required to actually follow any of that. But according to New York state law, whether they're federally required for federal elections is a whole nother story, but there's some gray ground there. But anyways, go ahead, Roy, why don't you continue with your
so we didn't know they purchased the machines until New Year's Day, which is about I guess it was 4.5 months later. And we had been foiling the information from them during the course of the year, 2025, and we were not getting the responses that we needed. There was no record they had ever voted. See, what happens here is the commissioners are supposed to vote on this. See, you notice the legislature left it all up to the commissioners. You know, they're the experts, they know everything, they'll take care of it. So the commissioners never really voted on this, never held a meeting, a public meeting, never had a resolution. So anyway, so we were not getting the information we needed, and finally we filed a final FOIL request. We did 10 FOIL requests to them. We finally did one in February of 2026, where we asked them, look, just give us the vote by the commissioners. We know the commissioners had the vote, and they denied that request. Okay, so we believe the decision was made behind the scenes, maybe through some emails, some private meetings. They violated open meetings law if they did that. Okay, so we ended up filing the lawsuit. That was our only option after that, when they denied our FOIL request. So what I'd like to do now is shift over to the actual petition itself. So I'm going to go to share the screen here and get back to here. And let's see if I can find. I'm going to bring up our. Oh, I know what I want to do. So yeah, we filed the lawsuit, and let me just sync this up. Good.
Oh my God.
And here's what the lawsuit looked like. All right. We prepared it. There's 7 copies that had to be served because we actually named 7 public officials in the lawsuit. So we put them into binders. Each one of these had to be delivered to the, we sued the county. We sued the county appeals officer. We sued the Board of Elections, their appeals officers, their FOIL officers, and both are the commissioners. So, and this is my process server going to the County Board of Elections. That's Sue Hansen, the famous Sue Hansen. We have actually have her identity covered, so nobody knows who she is. So we took a picture from the back. And then she also went to the county attorney's office in Hauppauge. There's 2 different buildings, and she served papers on the county attorney's office and the appeals officer. So thank you, Sue, for that. Okay. All right. Let's see. What was the next thing I wanted to do? Oh yeah. So I wanted to shoot over to the to where the actual lawsuit gets filed. This is the NYSEF. It's the New York State Courts electronic filing system. So I had to go here, sign up, and I actually have to, besides serving the papers to the individuals, the hard copies, I also have to do an electronic filing. So that's what's done here. So you can see here, I'm going to log in. Okay, and that's me right there. And I'm going to log into my account. So now I'm going to go to my cases. And here is me versus the county of Suffolk and a whole bunch of other people. So I'm going to open up the information. So here you can see the petition that we had to file. We have a notice of petition also had to be submitted. That's another little technical paper has to be done. We have a list of exhibits. And here you see all the exhibits we did, A through, I think it's T or U. I don't know how far they went down. ADU, yeah. And then we had to do a request for judicial review or intervention, request for judicial intervention, RJI. That's to get the judge on board, okay? And then also affirmation of service. Sue had to sign the affidavits, and we had to file each one of those in here. So every time she gave a document to one of the respondents, we had to fill out a notice of service, affirmation versus affidavit, the affirmation of service. The affidavit has to be notarized. The affirmation does not have to be notarized. So we did affirmations. So if anybody's interested, I'll just pop open the petition. That's okay?
Yep.
Okay, so hopefully you can see all that. All right. So yeah, you can see it's me versus the world here. But behind me, there's a lot of other people. So I'm just the figurehead here, kind of in a way. No, I had a lot to do with it too. So all right, so you can see
did a lot. You did a lot of hard work. You did,
Yeah.
but you definitely had a team helping you behind the scenes. Yes.
Absolutely. So here's the
And you're doing it for so many people because most people won't get up and do this. And so what a service. Thank you.
Well, I'm kind of learning as I go along here, so it's exciting. It can be a little the filing with the electronic filing was nerve-wracking, and then making all the copies of the papers, was also nerve-wracking. I don't understand why I needed so many copies. I mean, it's basically the same two agencies I'm serving, but that was the technicalities. Everybody has to be served. Everybody named here, Jacqueline Caputi, and all these guys all had to be served individually. Okay. And thank you, Sue, for doing that. So yeah, I think I'll just read the preliminary statement. It's only 3 paragraphs long, so I'll give you an idea what the lawsuit's about. Okay, petitioner brings this action in response to respondent Suffolk County Board of Elections unlawful and clandestine expenditure of 31 million taxpayer dollars to purchase voting machines, including respondents' collective failure to document the process legally required for such procurement, and respondents' collective failure to provide such records in response to petitioner's lawful request. Respondents' actions violate the Freedom of Information Law, Public Officers Law, sections 84 through 90, the Open Meetings Law, Public Officers Law, sections 100 through 111, and the General Municipal Law, sections 103 and 104B, and the Election Law, section 226, and chapter 1065 of the Suffolk County Code, which is their procurement process. All right. Petitioner respectfully requests that this court declare respondents' actions unlawful, compel production of all unlawfully withheld records, vacate the purchase of the ES&S voting machines, remand the matter to respondents for further processing proceedings consistent with the court's decision, and grant relief sought by petitioner, and grant such other and further relief as the court deems proper. Okay, so that kind of sums it up. That was actually Sue's idea to do this up front. She wanted to hit them hard up front, lay it right in front of them. This is what we want to do. So Sue came up with that idea, and then we put more information into the background. So it's an interesting story. Okay, so knowing what we know now. So I just want to give you an idea what the look like. And any questions on this, on the process? Any questions? Am I still on? Am I still on?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. The first thing is, so what you're requesting as remedy is that you get the record so you could see what actually happened, and also reverse, or you want them to not stop the purchase of the machines because it was not procured properly, correct? Is that what you're asking for?
Yes, what you just saw up front was the Cliff's notes of what we're actually asking for. Okay, so we're going to move down to relief sought. Okay, and we expand on what we're looking for, and first thing, we want them to fulfill the FOIL request. Okay, so we made the FOIL request asking them for the actual. We want the inside scoop, the inside documentation they have. Who made the decision It must have been done by email, by phone call, by private meeting. We asked for that information, all right? And they wouldn't give it to us. So we're now asking them to go into the records and give us what we asked for under the FOIL, okay? That's number one, okay, or A in this case, all right? And then we pointed out that they violated the open meetings law, all right? And we want that that addressed. So what we do with that, further down, here we say, we want the court to remand the matter back to the respondents, back to the Board of Elections, and we want them, for them to actually fulfill their responsibilities. We want them to, number one, prepare and adopt and maintain written procurement policies, which they were supposed to do and didn't do. They have no procurement policies. We foiled the procurement policies. They have none, they told us. So how do they make this decision on what to buy? And don't you have to have some sort of procurement policy? Do you weigh one? There's like 5 or 6 different choices they could have made, because there's different machines and 4 different companies, and within those companies they have different machines. So they had to choose. They had many machines to choose from, but they chose this one, and they don't tell us why. Procurement policies were not spelled out. So we're asking them to go back, and number one, we want them to create some procurement policies, and number 2, we want them to fulfill them. Okay. Then we also, what else are we asking for? Oh, we asked them to hold a meeting. We said, once you get all this straightened out and you weigh the pros and cons of the machine in public, then we want you to hold a meeting and vote on it again. Okay. We want you to fulfill your responsibility under open meetings law. We want you to actually hold a meeting. All right. So, and then, of course, they never noticed anybody about the meeting because there was no meeting. They never did any sort of resolution. They never voted. We have no proof of them voting. So we're sending it all back. We want the judge to send it back to them and have them do the right thing. Okay. And let the cards fall where they fall. All right. So
when do you expect an answer to this? Is there a court date or?
Yeah, court date's August 6th.
Okay.
All right, but that doesn't mean very much, because what I think will happen is, and I don't want to get into too much detail on the strategy here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they ask for more time. Okay, what I'm concerned is they're going to drop an answer on us 5 days before that deadline, the 6th, and we won't have time to respond to it. Okay, and then we'll have to ask for an adjournment. So knowing the way these guys have worked in the past, Sue Hansen has a similar lawsuit. They dragged on, and they were just very incompetent. The lawyer they had working for them was, well, I felt he was incompetent. He just missed dates, and he's still missing dates. So I don't know who they're going to hire to do this, but whoever it's going to be, I'm sure they're going to need more time, because the lawsuit is pretty detailed, and there's a lot to be covered, and they're going to have to read it and respond to it. It took us like 3 to 4 months to do this. All right. Well, let's see. We started in January, I guess. So yeah, it took us a good solid 3 months, I'd say, to get this thing out. All right. So I don't know about them, how long it's going to take them, but I'm sure it's going to take them a month to weed through it. So they may come in back and just say they want to dismiss it. I don't want to get too much into the strategy, 'cause there's several things they could do, and obviously the low-lying fruit is they're just going to dismiss it. They're going to dismiss the case. Mr. Reynolds is an idiot, and he doesn't know what he's talking about, and they missed the deadline. They only had 4 months from the day we bought them, and we bought them back in August. It's been almost a year since then, and blah blah blah. So, but that's not the issue. The issue is now the FOIL, and the fact that we now are aware they did not follow the law. See, we didn't know they didn't follow the law last year. We assumed, as anybody would, that they follow the law, all right? That they have a meeting, that they vote on this and do everything they're supposed to do. But now we find, basically, it's coming out, they certify now in February, we didn't do any of that, okay? So, but Mr. Reynolds, it's too late. 4 months is gone, So they basically snookered us in a way, but you can't do these things out of the sight of the public. You know, that's what they did. They made these decisions. They signed this contract out of the sight of the public and never had a public meeting, never had a public vote, you know. So that's what our argument is. But we're pretty solid on the foil. We feel they're going to have to respond to that foil. We're within the 4 months on that. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what shakes out of this. Does that answer your question, Daniel? I don't know.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Steve has a question, Steve Gillen.
So Roy, great job, man. You guys did a great job on this. Quick question. So August 6th is a preliminary?
It's the day we have to it's the what do they call it, responsive date?
Answer date.
Yeah, it's a date. The date we have to show up in court. That's everything.
Right,
Has to be in, everything has to be in by that date. We may not have to show up, but everything is supposed to be in by that date. Okay, August 6th. So
from the
any
county,
answers,
from the county,
county and us. If they answer us, then we can reply to it. All that has to be done by the 6th. That's why I said I'm concerned that they're going to answer us 5 days before August 6th, and then we'll only have 5 days to try to figure out how to answer it. So I would just ask for an adjournment right up front, and there's a way to do that, and usually the courts allow that. They realize that you need more time in 5 days, right? So.
Right. And then just one last question. I sort of remember back early on, maybe a year and a half ago or so, didn't you guys end up foiling some emails and saw communications between a few people, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, well, that's something we're holding in the background, and I don't want to discuss it too much.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
It shows a little collusion between the county, some of the county employees and the ES&S company. There's collusion going on, all right? They were buddy, you know, too buddy for me, you know, so.
Right. Thank you, Roy. Great job, man, on all you guys.
Oh, thanks.
Sue?
Hi, I just wanted to mention that I put a link in the chat that people can use to go directly into the NYSIF system to look at Roy's case. NYSIF stands for New York State Court Electronic Filing System, and these types of proceedings, they're called Article 78 when a member of an elected official is being accused of wrongdoing. It goes in as an Article 78, and there's a link in the chat. You can go directly into Roy's case and read all the gory details.
Thank you, Sue. Yeah. And Sue is on that team that helps Roy. And Sue actually has her own case that she's doing pro se that she won, and now they're Suffolk's appealing. So we've got a great team working on this in Suffolk. Thank you. Any other questions, or Roy, do you have anything else you wanted to say?
It pretty much covers the base. We're showing the light on what's going on and uncovering things, and you know, they're not following procedures, and there's no way a $34 million purchase should have occurred without good documentation, okay? And they just moved ahead like they always do, you know, behind the scenes. And they got the okay from, I hate to say it, they had the okay from the chairman of the Republican Party that we have an email showing that they went to him even before the budget was prepared, and they got the okay from him. So this was a deal made way before we even got involved. So
yeah.
They do nothing without his approval. Roy, could you let us know on August 6th if that's going to take place and where and so forth? I'd like to attend.
Absolutely, it will be in Riverhead though, so you know.
Okay.
That's place Griffin Ave. That's like, yeah. So
I'm with you.
No,
I mean, I live like 15, not even 10 minutes from Roy.
Yeah.
So okay.
It's good for us. I know that. And
it's good for us.
It's not far either. So
yeah.
Good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for presenting, and keep us updated and informed on how everything's going, and let us know how we can help. And awesome job. I know a few of you guys jumped on late, if you jumped on late and you didn't hear our first guest, what we were asking people to do is do a comment to the Office of oh gosh, what's OMB stand for
Management
again?
and budget.
Thank you. And so I don't know if we put the link, can put the link in again. And basically, if you want to just show what they have to do rather than the whole thing.
Oh, yes.
But if you, I did it while Roy was, initially talking because I was familiar with the ExpressVote XL. I did it as an individual, and I will do it as we'll do it as an organization as well. And I look like a couple other people managed to get it done. It's not hard to do, and we're giving you the language that all you have to do is copy paste in there. So if you want to just show them really quick, that would be great. And if you can do it tonight, then we'll get a whole bunch on there. We're trying to get some comments.
All right. Okay. So I got it. Shoot. So very, very quickly, I'll paste this in. But what we want you to do, here is a boilerplate or sample comment. I'll post this in. I have to unshare in order to do it. Okay. And some additional comments. And where you go to put that in is right here. And I will put oops, not there. Right here, comment. You just put the comment here, type it in. Don't have to attach any files. All right. Put your email. You can comment as an individual, or you can say anonymous. And you have to say you're not a robot. This is where the AI thing comes in. And then you click down here, get a submit comment, and you'll get a tracking number. So with that, appreciate it very much because this is vital to get this rule through. And for those that didn't know, it's going to be interesting times ahead of us because Trump just fired the entire remaining EAC board, which controls a lot of the election support staff from the federal government. They're the ones that are working on the VVSG 2.0 standards. We'll find out more probably in a meeting that Clena Mitchell hosts. So I put in the boilerplate, and then right below that, I put in some added comments you can throw in there for variety or whatever strikes you. And you can put your own comments in. Again, thank you, team. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate the lawsuit. We are citizens of this nation, and we're acting like citizens. And I know you're in a tough state like me in Michigan, but if we persevere, we will prevail.
You are 100% correct. Thank you very much for coming and hanging in there. So yeah, we'll get as many of these in from New York as we possibly can over the next couple of days. So appreciate it. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Any thoughts, comments on anything you heard today?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Is this on social media also? Is there something that you're sharing out on social media, or should we just make our own post?
There is something from EIN, I think.
Yeah, EIN has something out there. But yeah, go ahead and post it. You know how to say this, spread the influence and post everywhere you can.
Okay, great. Sure.
So there's a question in the chat. I hope I can see this on replay. Yes, Annie, you should be able to see it. Actually, if you're on X, as soon as I end, that recording is there already, if I remember correctly. But it'll also be on Rumble, and it'll be eventually Danielle will upload it to Vimeo. But right now you can see it right away on pretty quickly. So we can get that information to you.
I hate to give Danielle more work, but is it possible we get an email thing out to our people? To all of our
Yeah, I
people?
could send it out tonight. Yeah.
Send something out to our whole list. That'd be great.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we have all the language here, so
Yeah.
I can actually take what I posted. I took the whole list, the entire list that you posted, Jeff, and ran it through ChatGPT, and it created 4-paragraph posts. So it's all there. And so I can give you what I did too. Yeah, and I'll do one from Project Civica either tomorrow or over the weekend.
Yeah. Just do a call to action.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll do a call to action, 100%. Yep. Awesome.
That's very interesting about the EAC. I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, so the EAC stands for Election Assistance Commission. It's an independent, and I'm reading, I didn't have this memorized. It's an independent federal agency created by the Help America Vote Act, HAVA, in 2002, following the issues that arose in the 2000 presidential election. You remember that one, the hanging chads issue. Its primary responsibilities are supposed to be developing what Jeff mentioned already, the voluntary voting system guidelines used to test and certify voting systems. It accredits voting system testing laboratories to test the voting equipment. It certifies voting systems to federal standards. Participation by states in the certifying the voting system is voluntary, and states may have additional certification requirements. It helps distribute HAVA funds for to states for election administration improvements. It serves as a national clearinghouse for election administration best practices, research, and guidance, and it collects election administration data, including a very important report that I have mentioned in a few Substacks, and it's also included in our Red Flags report, which is the Biennial Election Administration and Voting Survey, otherwise known as EAVS, EAVS. So that's actually a really interesting report to go to and noodle around in. You find all sorts of interesting stuff in there. So, but that's pretty incredible that he fired them all. So that's as a result of slaughter, probably.
I just looked at. I just looked. There were like 3 commissioners. He fired because they did not actually require any security or anything for in the infrastructure. So just for incompetence, there were the 3 remaining commissioners he fired. So it's not like he did a clean sweep. It was the 3 commissioners, I believe.
Yeah.
So where'd you read that as far as they refused to incorporate security?
I just went on X. That's what it says here. Hold on. Let me just look up EAC.
While we wait, has anybody heard anything about the letter that went out by the DOJ on Tuesday? Any pushback yet? I can't find anything on it.
I haven't seen too much. I know Harmeet was on social media talking about it.
Right.
I found a copy buried in an article where you could see the letter that went out to Hawaii, and I posted that in our main chat. But very, very interesting. And maybe people don't realize it, but we found non-citizens on our rolls, our local county rolls as well. So yeah, if anybody has any brilliant ideas of how to publicize this, what we found, it's so hard when you have things on the voter rolls to publicize what you find on other than a report, but I mean like on social media. Yeah, we found one county, for example, Jeff, has close to 2,000 non-citizens on it.
Oh, I believe it.
But this is in the voter rolls. This is literally in the voter rolls. They are purged. The reason they're purged is non-citizen, and some of them have voted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Benson was our Secretary of State, who's running for governor, was forced to issue a release that there was 15 additional people, non-citizens who voted and referred to prosecution. And what happened, there was an initial report about a Chinese citizen who got registered to vote and voted, and was found out later on that he was not allowed to, went back and said, hey, can I have my ballot back? I'm not allowed to vote. And so we believe that the other 15 were students that were enticed to vote and, fled the country just like the initial Chinese student. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I find it kind of sad because, you know, not, I mean, some of the non-citizens may know, but some of them may truly not know, right? You know, like you may get confused because of a language barrier, and here you are getting pressured, and some NGO basically got these folks in trouble. So that's kind of in a similar situation than the what we're trying to get people to comment on. It's these, you know, agents of these NGOs going out trying to convincing people to sign up to vote when they probably never would in a million years. And you know, and they, you know, maybe it's on purpose for non-citizens, but it may be entirely accidental, not understanding the American process too. And so it's kind of unfortunate, but that would prevent you from becoming a citizen if you voted in an election. Very interesting. Well, we will follow this drama with the EAC. That's pretty cool. And I suspect it's because of the slaughter decision that the Supreme Court just came out with. Stephen, are you on here still? Stephen Scher?
They just so it was the Arizona Secretary of State said in a press release that the EAC was irresponsible and dangerous. Oh, no. He's actually he's reacting to Trump saying that it's irresponsible and dangerous to fire them. So
I am here.
Oh, I was going to ask you if you were familiar with the slaughter case that Trump actually commented on.
Yeah, so that was like a case about a New Deal era law that gave or regulation that gave authority as independent agencies. And so it was called Humphrey's Executor, and the Slaughter case overturned that and gave back the authority granted under Article 2 to the chief executive over the executive branch.
So that enables him or allows him, I think it gives him more power
A broader authority that was originally intended in Article 2.
Right, but what I'm thinking is it gives him the authority to fire the EAC now, the people on the board, right?
Able to fire FTC commissioners.
Okay, yeah. So
I don't see. I'm not seeing anything that's actually people that I follow. It's basically all left-leaning people that are reacting. So I will, you know, like Mark Elias, I don't know if I he's on here. But so I would probably wait a little while to hear what's actually happening.
Yeah, I saw this morning a comment from Mark Elias about their plan of withholding a certain percentage of federal funds, and if they don't comply with new election guidelines. And Mark Elias was absolutely freaking out about that.
Yeah, it's a 20% holdback on your funds, and you have to spend 3% of the fund. It's a FEMA grant, and you have to spend 3% on election infrastructure security. And it also bans the suffix purchase. It's like, what? That's why it's like, because these machines can't be turned around and made VVSG, Voluntary Voting Standards Guidelines 2.0, which bans non-use of paper ballots. In April 28th of this year, I was at the EAC Board of Advisors meeting. That's where Don Palmer resigned from the EAC. But they talked about VVSG 2.0 at that point. So that'll be interesting.
Jeff, question?
Yeah.
Could we bring that information, the information about Suffolk County? Who would we bring that to on the federal level? That they've bought these machines in violation of the executive order that Trump came out with earlier in the year. They knew about that. They knew about the executive order, and they just ignored it. And it's actually something in the contract about litigation and the executive order, so that they signed. But who could we bring this to now on a federal level and say, look what Suffolk County did? They shouldn't be getting any funding for this. They shouldn't be getting funding. because they violated the executive order, which I understand was negated to a certain extent. But
Well, they paid it out of their own money.
Right.
yes,
That's what I was just going to say. Took a bond out on it.
The
30
feds
years.
can't do anything about it. They just basically what'll happen is that you've got a lot of parts going into the recycle bin.
No, but you know what's going
Yeah.
to happen? They're going to request grant money. They got grant money for their poll books. Okay.
Grant money from the federal government?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah, because that has nothing to do with the machines themselves. The poll books are a separate animal. Okay.
Get the grant. Do you have a copy of the grant proposal that was accepted and who it was sent to?
I think we can find it. Why do you think that would be involved? It's not
because then you can go to the EAC and the EAC can act. Okay, you can file, and actually you can file a HAVA complaint with the state of New York too.
Well, why couldn't you buy poll books or poll pads? Why couldn't you buy the poll pads separate? Those are a separate animal, right? I mean, that's what we're told, that that's separate. The machines is another animal, right? So that they may be looking for grant money for the machines. They may be looking for that now, and it probably slipped through the cracks.
This isn't a poll book. Okay, so this is not the tabulator itself.
No, he's talking to the poll pads, the poll books.
Yeah. So that's a separate thing. They got those are all new also.
No inks.
No ink. No ink. You mean no booklets? No books.
No. Okay.
No,
so
he means no ink is the manufacturer.
The
Liberty
manufacturer.
Voting.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you have down in Suffolk.
We have no ink in Nassau, so probably in Nassau in Suffolk also.
Yeah. Right. So what I'm saying is it's we don't want them to go looking for funding. I mean, I am a taxpayer. I should have them go find the funding, but I want them to know they did something wrong and not get the funding if they go looking for it, or be put on notice that they can't get the funding, because that's something that they didn't consider when they purchased these machines, that they wouldn't be eligible maybe for funding, grant money. Besides a whole bunch of other things, they also had to buy more storage space. All right.
Okay, so now we got to separate the two things. Okay. Number one, the ES&S is a tabulator. Okay. That you can definitely file with the EAC. No ink is a e-poll book. And VVSG does not deal with poll books. There's something called eStep, which is electronic something. There's a presentation on that that can be shared, and I can send off that EAC thing. I did give it to EIN, Kathy Harms and Ned Jones to review, but that part I'm not sure about. Okay,
turn them in for the machines. We want them to realize that they made a mistake with the machines, because they won't be eligible for any grant money from the federal government. No federal money coming to them because they purchased it. I'm assuming that's what's the case here. So where they had a chance of getting some money for back, for the coffers, they won't have that now.
Well, Roy, we won't be able to bring it to the EAC because Trump fired everybody.
No, but the EAC has an executive director, Brianna Schmaltz, and also they have an Office of Inspector General. It's a very small office. They farm out all their work, and they're the ones who audit HAVA grants. And then they have people that do HAVA, who approve the HAVA grants. So the bureaucracy is still in place. Now, the EAC is a very small team. They've got a total of 26 federal employees, or grand totals of 26. So it's very small and been kept that way deliberately so by Congress, so that the states don't have to deal with them so much. It was basically set up by Congress and then not given any power. Don Palmer came on and essentially worked 7 years to get it to where people would listen to it and also strengthen the professionalism. But he resigned again at this April 28th meeting. And my understanding is that they were having tremendous difficulties getting a candidate to replace him on board. So we'll see.
Just looking for
Right now, we're in speculation. I would say right now, get the grant, read it, see who it was sent to. If it is to the EAC, definitely send it to the EAC HAVA grant team, which is posted it in the on the EAC website. File a complaint there and file a complaint with the state simultaneous, the Bureau of Elections or whatever your equivalent is. There was a case in Missouri before the states were offhandedly dismissing HAVA complaints by citizens. In Missouri, a federal judge says, no, you guys are not following the law. You must hear these cases. And since then, a case in Wisconsin has been heard, a HAVA complaint. We here in Michigan Fair Elections are getting ready to file a couple of HAVA complaints. I personally had filed a HAVA complaint back in 2023 that was was just dismissed out of hand. They didn't even take 2 days to look at it. Literally, they got the complaint, sat in the inbox, read it, and the director of elections sent it back, said, no, we don't think it lacks merit. That's what it said. So the ground is shifting slowly but surely. So get that grant, and then if you've got questions or whatever, get back with me. You all know how to get back with me. We can see where we can go from there. But right now, my initial thing is saying, because I haven't read the grant, I can't.
No. It's not about the grant for the poll books. It's about whether or not they're going to be eligible for any money for the machines, any grant money for the machines if they request it. I want to be able to go to whether it's at the court issue or to the legislature and say, look, you guys screwed up. Now you can't get any money for these machines. If you bought other machines, there's a possibility you get some grant money. All right.
Well, grant money may not necessarily come from the federal government. I mean, we don't know. We have to know more facts.
Maybe we got
Roy. Hold on one second, Danielle. Roy is talking about the machines. The grant is for the poll books. 2 different situations.
Okay,
So
I would say I can't say anything. You're giving me something I don't have enough information to give you good advice on.
Well, you said the machines are unacceptable. You said the machines are unacceptable.
When I was talking about the machines, I was talking about the tabulators.
Yes, right. You're saying those are unacceptable.
Yeah.
So
we're live streaming. You want to shut the live stream?